Ahoy, mateys. Welcome back. Let's keep budgeting, okay? So, again, you've copied all this information here from your pay stub, and not only have you copied your information, you've also added this formula right here that's going to do all the math for you if you ever have to change your deductions, okay? Now let's get into the budgeting. We're going to have two categories. The first category is going to be called fixed expenses, okay? Fixed expenses. Fixed expenses, you'll remember this from our vocab, do not change from month to month. So think like rent, think like your Hulu subscription, think if you've got a recurring car payment, right? Is your landlord, especially if they're a good landlord, isn't going to go, hey, this month we're going to charge you $200, next month we're going to charge you $300, kind of whatever we feel. Most of the time you'll sign a 1-year contract and you know it's going to be exactly the same every single month, okay? So we're going to get into some fixed expenses. So go ahead, just copy these down. We're going to do some of the most common ones. Now again, I want this to become a tool for you. So guess what? If you need to add to this in a little bit, fantastic. Just go ahead and follow along with me for the sake of the assignment. So we're going to start with rent. So again, most of you will not own a home right out of high school. You'll need to rent an apartment. If we have a flex day later in the semester, it might be really, really fun to do a deep dive on what Fort Wayne apartments could you actually afford, right? Stop making it an assignment. Make it some real life stuff. Could you go live in Canterbury, or could you live in Stonewall, or could you live in Fountain Lake? All these different actual apartment complexes. Which one would you be able to afford if you're not going into college right away into a dorm? Okay, so we've got rent. Let's do utilities. That's going to be things like trash, utilities. I think that's how you spell it. We're going to hope, okay? Rent, utilities. Let's say we've got a car payment in there. Right, you wanted a fancy new truck and now you got to pay for it over the next couple of years. And I'm trying to think of other fixed expenses because, like, for example, groceries wouldn't be a fixed expense because 1 month you may buy more food, 1 month you may buy less. And let's put a student loan payment in there, okay? All right. Oh, and you know what? I actually can't live without my Hulu subscription, and I can't live without my Spotify subscription. So let's add those in there. Now, you saw I did something weird where I stretched the box. All I did was I just grabbed this line between A and B. So you see how payment is overhanging? Just grab that line. Swoop. I scooched it over, okay? Now, after we do our fixed expenses, we're going to do our variable expenses. Variable expenses do change from month to month. This is the part of your budget that you're going to be the most careful with. One of the things from our KWL chart that was mentioned over and over and over again is once I make a budget, how do I make sure I actually stick to it? Well, this stuff you're going to have little to no control over, right? You can't tell Spotify, oh, sorry, I actually only have $17 this month. I can't pay the $20. They're going to say, okay, we'll cancel your subscription. Your variable expenses, the ones that do change, you will have more control over those. So this is the area where it's going to take a little bit more discipline to make sure you're really keeping track of your budget. So let's think of some variable expenses. If you drive a car, what does it need? It needs gas. If you eat food, which you do, you're going to need groceries. If you live in the city of Fort Wayne that has really good restaurants like BB's Indian Kitchen and Blaze Pizza, then you're going to end up dining out sometimes. Think about some other things you'll need. So in addition to groceries, what about like household supplies? I'm thinking things like toilet paper, cleaner, paper towel, light bulbs, etc., right? Let's do some clothes, right? You're going to need new shoes, new socks, new Grundies, all that sort of stuff, right? That eventually wears out. And then you don't have to do this, but it's part of what makes my budget so fun is my wife and I do something called fun money, right? I don't know if you're a gamer. I don't know if you like to, maybe you're really into makeup. Maybe you're super into, you gotta have like the newest pair of shoes. You gotta have, tickets to see whatever movie. Maybe you like going to concerts a lot. We're going to plan for a little bit of fun money in our budget, so that way it doesn't feel like, man, I never get to buy anything, right? We're going to plan for there to be some fun money, okay? Now, this is starting to get a little messy, so let's color code some stuff again, okay? Fixed expenses, we're going to make bold. Variable expenses, we're going to make bold. Pick a color, any color. Let's make fixed expenses gray, because they don't move. They're fixed, right? And variable, let's make, I don't know, what sounds fun. Have I already used aqua yet? Let's do aqua, okay? So we'll make variable expenses aqua, okay? I don't have exact numbers for you because we're all going to be in some different situations, so let's just round some numbers, okay? Rent for most places in Fort Wayne, let's just look it up. What is the average rent for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment in Fort Wayne? Let's look. Looks like we're looking at 900 to 1,100. Why don't we split it right down the middle? Let's say 1,000, okay? Okay. $1,000 okay, for rent. You're going to notice a problem here soon, and I'll see if you can catch it before I tell you, okay? Utilities, assuming that your apartment will cover trash and water, most do. You're just paying the electric bill, which is going to be anywhere between $80 and $100. So again, let's put it right in the middle at $90, okay, halfway between 80 and 100. Car payment, let's say you got an older car at $200. Student loan payment, and again, if you're like, hey, I'm not going to college, Mr. Daniels, I won't have these loans, awesome. That will be extra money that you get to throw around each month. Good for you, okay? But even if it's not a student loan payment, maybe you had to take out a loan to, I don't know, maybe you have some medical bills, something along those lines, okay? We'll set that at $100. Hulu, I forget how much Hulu is, guys. Hulu subscription. Show me the cost. Show me the cost. With ads, we're looking at $10 a month, okay? So we'll put $9.99. And then Spotify. How much is Spotify? Looks like $12 a month. Okay? Is it actually 12 even? No, it's $11.99. Boom. Okay. So now we've got all of our fixed expenses, okay? I don't want these numbers to be naked, so let's go ahead. Let's click and drag, right? So I'm just starting in fixed expenses. I'm dragging down and over without letting go. Let's make all of those gray, just like that, so we don't have any naked numbers, okay? Now, for variable expenses, this is where you get to do some thinking, okay? I pulled all of these, in theory, right from my electric bill, right from my apartment portal where I have to pay online, right from my car payment portal, right? These are all hard and fast numbers that I can't change even if I wanted to, okay? So now here's where you get to, are you ready? Set your budget. Is if you say, I'm only going to spend $100 on gas this month, you're not going to be driving to your auntie's house in Michigan as much as the person who sets $200 a month for gas. These you truly do make up, okay? So let's say that your car gets, I don't know, it costs $40 to fill up at the gas pump, okay? And let's say that one tank of gas lasts you 2 weeks, okay? How many tanks of gas does that mean a month? That means 2 tanks, right? Because 4 weeks in a month. So 2 tanks times $40. Let's say you're going to spend $80 on gas each month, okay? Groceries are expensive, y'all, okay? Groceries are really expensive. Now, it depends on if you're I'm going to go to the grocery store once a week type person, or I'm going to buy in bulk. But usually you're going to be spending a lot of money on groceries. Let's see what Google says, because maybe, I don't know, maybe I just like to cook and I spend a lot on groceries. How much is the average monthly cost of groceries in Fort Wayne, Indiana? Let's look, see if it's close to my number. About 400 for an individual. Yeah, I was gonna ballpark it near that, right? Is if you are gonna be going once or twice a month, right? I usually stock up and I have about 2 to 3 weeks worth of food, and my Walmart bill usually comes out to about $350. So I was gonna ballpark something to that. Let's go ahead, let's say $350. Okay? So you're gonna type right here under groceries, $350. Now that sounds like a lot, right? $350 just on food? That's for the whole month, baby. So what's 350 divided by 31 days? That's like 12 bucks a day, right? I spend that at Starbucks easy. So it's actually pretty reasonable, okay? Dining out, again, this is something you get to decide. How much do you usually spend? Are you kind of a McDonald's eater, or are you like a Cork and Cleaver fancy steak dinner type of eater? Because that will affect how much money you can spend dining out each time. Let's say that you are, I don't know, somewhere in the middle. Let's say you spend 20 bucks every week, okay? If you spend 20 bucks every week, then what? 2 times 4 is 8. Add a 0. That'd be 80 bucks a month on dining out. That includes Starbucks. That includes McDonald's. That includes fancy restaurant date night. A lot of you are spending more than 80 bucks on dining out each month, but that's okay. Okay? A lot of the household supplies will probably be wrapped into your groceries cost, right? It's not like you're making a Walmart trip just for food and a Walmart trip just for, toilet bowl cleaner. You're probably buying both. So let's just say about 100 there. Clothes, again, really up to you. I rewear a lot of clothes. Like I wash my jeans until they get holes in them or they shrink too much in the dryer. So it's going to be up to you. Let's see what the average is, because I don't want you guys to be living my budget. I want you to be living your budget. So what is the average monthly cost for clothing in Fort Wayne? Boop. 120 per household. That's really high. I'm going to be real. That's really high. Let's say like 80-ish. Okay? 80, 90, 85. Okay? And fun money, this is going to be each month. So think about what you spend fun money on. Are you a trading card person? Are you a video game person? Are you a I need to hit up Sephora. I need to go get my nails did, whatever. What are you going to spend fun money on? And let's start with $100 a month. Okay? Let's have some fun with that. Okay? This is the last category that we're going to get through, and it's going to be the saving category. So go ahead and write saving right here. And then here's where your project you just did is going to become a little bit more real life. Think about your 5-year, your 10-year, and your 20-year goal, right? So for my wife and I, our goal for the last 3 years was to save for a down payment on a house, right? How many of you put that as your 10-year goal, right? I've been reading your projects. A lot of you did. That was our real life financial goal, is we went from, okay, we're little baby adults who just graduated college to, hey, guess what? I'm sitting in my dining room right now, right? We actually did it. And so many people my age, right, in their mid-20s, early 20s are going, I'll never own a home. I'll never own a home, right? We're in a special situation because we don't have a ton of debt and both of us have pretty well-paying jobs. But we also saved our butts off. Our friends took trips to go see Taylor Swift in Sweden. Our friends were taking camping trips. Our friends always had nicer, newer clothes than us. While we were dedicated saving, they're in an apartment. I'm sitting at my kitchen table. So let's talk about some saving, okay? What we're going to build first is our emergency fund. This is going to be your most important saving category, because what happens if you spend all your money, right, and you have no money in savings, you pop a tire on the car, now you're in debt, or you're running to the first bank of mom and dad to bail you out, which is not what you want to be doing, because they won't be around for forever, okay? I'm running a little short on time here, so I'm going to pause the video. We're going to finish savings in part 3, and we're going to do our math that makes everything talk to each other, okay? So I will see you guys in part 3.